As the clock struck 2:30 a.m. local time, EgyptAir Flight 804 was cruising at an altitude of 37,000 feet over the Mediterranean Sea. The cabin was calm, passengers were resting, and the crew was preparing for their descent into Cairo. But within minutes, everything changed. What could cause a plane to vanish without a trace? Just moments before disappearing from radar, the aircraft sent its last communication, a routine message indicating all systems were functioning normally. Yet shortly after, it deviated from its flight path and plunged into the sea. Was there a sudden technical failure? Or did something more alarming occur? The search and recovery efforts. In the wake of Flight 804's disappearance, an extensive search operation commenced. Ships and aircraft from multiple countries scoured the Mediterranean for debris or survivors. The search area expanded rapidly as investigators analyzed flight data. They discovered that just before vanishing, the plane made a 90-degree left turn followed by a full circle to the right. It then descended sharply, dropping from 37,000 feet to 15,000 feet in a matter of seconds before finally disappearing at 10,000 feet. These sharp turns and sudden altitude changes suggested potential chaos in the cockpit, raising questions about whether the maneuvers were a result of a struggle, technical failure, or attempts by the crew to regain control of the aircraft. Could these maneuvers indicate a struggle in the cockpit? Or were they simply a result of technical malfunction? Debris from the aircraft, including pieces of the fuselage and personal belongings, was eventually recovered near the crash site. However, the bodies of some passengers showed burn marks, which may corroborate theories of an onboard fire. Theories begin to emerge. As days turned into weeks with no sign of wreckage, speculation and theories began to swirl. The lack of immediate debris fueled early conjectures, with some experts suggesting the aircraft might have disintegrated at high altitude, making the recovery of remains more difficult. Others pointed to the Mediterranean's deep and complex topography, which could have hidden the wreckage from initial search efforts. Early theories ranged from catastrophic technical failure and mid-air explosion to potential sabotage. The absence of any definitive evidence in the early days allowed these speculations to dominate headlines, adding to the uncertainty and mystery surrounding Flight 804. Some experts suggested that a catastrophic failure in one of the aircraft systems could explain the sudden loss of control. Mechanical issues have been responsible for other aviation disasters. Could this be another case? Others speculated about possible pilot error or even sabotage. The flight's captain had over 6,000 hours of experience. Could he have made a fatal mistake? Or was there an external threat? The investigation into Flight 804's disappearance was complex and multifaceted. Data recovered from the aircraft's black boxes revealed crucial information about its final moments. In particular, one piece of data stood out for moments before losing contact. Smoke alarms activated in the cockpit. This indicated there may have been an onboard fire or smoke issue. Could this have incapacitated the crew? If so, what caused it? Was it due to a mechanical failure or something more deliberate? French investigators later reported traces of explosive residue on recovered debris, raising the possibility of a bomb. However, this claim remains disputed due to lack of corroborative evidence. As investigators continued their work, speculation about terrorism loomed large. In light of global security concerns surrounding air travel, could Flight 804 have been targeted? While no definitive evidence linked any passengers to terrorist organizations, some individuals raised red flaring security checks prior to boarding. The Islamic State ISIS had previously claimed responsibility for downing other aircraft, such as Metrojet Flight 9268 in 2015. However, no group claimed responsibility for Flight 804, leaving this theory unconfirmed. The emotional impact on families waiting for news was profound. Many held vigils hoping for answers while grappling with uncertainty and grief. How do families cope when faced with such inexplicable loss? And what responsibility do airlines have in providing support during these tragic events? The families of victims called for greater transparency from Egyptair and aviation authorities, highlighting delays and inconsistencies in communication. Months after the disappearance, investigators released preliminary findings but struggled to provide conclusive answers. Despite extensive searches and analysis of flight data, wreckage remained elusive. What does this mean for future aviation safety? How can lessons learned from Flight 804 help prevent similar tragedies? In response to this and similar incidents, the aviation industry has emphasized the importance of real-time flight data streaming and enhanced safety protocols for fire detection and prevention. As we reflect on the disappearance of Egyptair Flight 804, we are left with more questions than answers. Was it an unfortunate accident caused by mechanical failure, or did human actions lead to this tragedy? The mystery continues to haunt those affected by this event as well as aviation experts worldwide. Will we ever know what truly happened on that fateful night over the Mediterranean Sea?